Hey everybody, it's Joseph Shepard.
And your girl, Miss Laganja Estranja.
And you know what, Laganja? Are you ready? We can do it this time, right?
Because we can see each other?
Because we can see each other.
Okay.
And welcome to Queening Out!
Oh! That's what we need to see. We just needed the visual.
We just needed the visual.
The visual.
And we are here. We are at the lovely The Wave in Los Angeles recording this podcast to you. And you get a visual.
That's right, Mama. We are here in the flesh. And we are so excited because this is a podcast where Joseph and I break down each and every episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 7, but in our own unique way.
That's right. Now, today is a special day. As I just said, our schedule's finally aligned. We are now in LA. We're in the same place recording this. You excited for your first video episode?
You know, I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie. Visuals are a part of my job, right? But I am often scrutinized on my looks, as we do with all the girls on this show each and every day. So I did have to switch sides with Joseph before we started filming. You know, the eye makeup on this side is not as good as this side. So now that we've got that settled, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident, and I'm ready to rock.
Ready to rock and roll. Now, before we end up getting into this All-Stars, I just want to know, you just traveled the whole world. You're now back in the U.S. What was your whole experience like?
You know, it was amazing to be back on tour again. This was the first, well, actually not the first tour since Corona, but this was the first big fully produced tour since Corona. I did Work the World 6 years ago when they first started. So to go back and see how it has just progressed is kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You know, we were filling up 10,000, sometimes 14,000 seated arenas where people like Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande performed. So it was just kind of overwhelming, to be honest. You know, the performing aspect was so amazing. Obviously, being on the stage with dancers and props and a fully produced visual by Acid Betty, my sister from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my God.
Was just such an accomplishment for me. You know, I never dreamed, well, actually, that's not true. I've dreamed of playing those houses, but I never knew if it would actually happen. So the fact that it got to happen was amazing. Obviously, getting closer to a lot of these newer girls that I've never worked with. Me and Miss Vanjie, you know, we cut up. We had us a good time. And I'm really grateful for the experience, but I'm also happy to be home for all of 5 days. I missed my dog. I missed ranch dressing. And it's good to be back home and be with you, of course.
And to have food that has seasoning, apparently.
Yes. I did miss the seasoning of America. You know, they are very serious about their sugar intake in Europe. And in England. And so, I miss like Coca-Cola. Like even the Coca-Cola tastes different.
Different?
Yeah,
Really?
we really jacked the sugar up. So it's good to be back with my sweet things.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because there was like one comment on the YouTube version of the podcast and it was like, oh, wow, Laganja really going for the UK food here.
Well, you know, when in UK, you got to go for it.
You do.
And I definitely always stick to, like, when I'm in the UK, Indian food. Indian food is incredible in the UK. Very delicious. And that's how I can get that spice and kick. So Now, what about you? What have you been up to? How are you doing? What's the latest tea?
Latest tea? Oh my gosh. Okay, I know that this is like kind of like a downer, but I mean, it's
we
life.
Like that.
It's life.
We have ups and downs. It's a roller coaster.
So this past weekend was Pride.
Yes.
Here in West Hollywood, and I was supposed to go on Saturday and with my boyfriend and his friends, and as I was about to go, I just sensed something wasn't right.
Uh-oh.
And I just wasn't feeling it. Like everything was very sensitive and hyper aware, and it was my autism tantrum. I had like a full-blown meltdown, and it doesn't necessarily happen a lot. It happens like maybe like once a year. So it was like the day
course, this
of
is
like
the time it's
exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, woo, party. Oh no, never mind. And literally it was just downhill. And then as I was recouping, also if you ever have like, if you're very like sensory overloaded, they have great music on YouTube.
Okay.
And also a very good visual. So like you get, it feels like you're
down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am calm. I am good. I'm collected. And my boyfriend texts me, he's like, hey, I'm coming home now. We can chill, whatever. I said,
so you stayed. You didn't go to Pride.
I didn't go. Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, that's good. You made the best decision for yourself.
Yeah. Made the best decision for myself. And I had told him to. And then he was like, okay, I'm coming home. The door opens and he brought a friend over. And I was sitting on the couch and I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't expect this. And I was about to go into like a full blown mode.
I thought you were going to say you were like sitting there naked masturbating.
No,
or something.
well, if they came an hour earlier, that would have happened.
Well, so then you still had the anxiety.
So still had the anxiety. And I told him, I was like, you're going to have to get him out. But he did. And I felt really bad. But at the same time, I knew that I needed to be 100. And you have to.
Well, and the good news is Pride is this weekend.
Yes, in LA.
In LA. I don't know the difference between when and LA.
Me either.
I guess this one's bigger.
Yeah.
So you could try it again if you wanted.
We're going to try it again.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not. I'm not. I'm taking Sunday off. I know it's Christina, but girls got to rest.
Oh, Xtina. So are you ready? Are you ready to get into this?
I am so ready to dive into this episode. Let's do it.
Before we do, we do have an email.
We do. Well, now remember, we love hearing your thoughts, and you can email us your opinions, your questions at laganjoes@gmail.com. That's LAGANJOES@gmail.com.
Or you can leave us a voicemail at 323-607-5116, and we might play it back on the show. Who knows? Maybe you and I will call somebody back.
We do have a really cute voicemail now, don't we?
We do. Yeah. We do have a really cute voicemail professing their undying love for both of us.
You see? So go, call us, leave us some thoughts. Now, let's check out the email that we got, shall we?
Yeah. It's from Mark. Hey divas, I am truly frickin' digging this podcast. That was a lot of ings in there. So nice to hear two different opinions from two respected divas. Thanks for not causing drama and keeping it real. Last week, the main runway was spikes. I would love to know how each of you would have interpreted this runway.
Love the question. Thank you so much, Mark. That's a good one. Let's see. Well, I like to keep it on brand. And sometimes, cannabis does have these red hairs that are like, not necessarily spike-like, but, you can interpret it that way. So maybe I would have done something with like, a green base with like red kind of spikes coming off of it to represent the nug, but keep it within the theme.
I love that.
Yeah. Or maybe purple even. Sometimes there's the purple.
Yeah.
Threads, the hairs. But that would be like my first inclination?
Inclination? Yeah.
Inclination. Yeah.
I love that.
What about you?
I think I would want to go like full like metal, not fake plastic, but like metal, but on like every tip that's over my body, like very like a bodysuit, very like metal pokes out, but I want there to be jewels on the tips of the poke.
Okay, jeweled tips.
Jeweled tips.
Love it.
That's what we're going for.
I also just thought of another one. What was the character on, I believe it was either Doug or Hey Arnold, and he had like the spiky hair? Did you ever watch those?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Doug or Hey Arnold, spiky hair.
I can't remember which one, but maybe that would be something that I could like interpret too. Was like that character from the show with the spiky hair.
See, I was going to go for Rugrats Spike, the dog. I was thinking that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I like that. That's really smart. As a kid, I used to gel and spike my hair. Like I was obsessed because I was such a mama's and daddy's boy and did what they wanted forever and ever and like parted my hair and wore the collared shirts. And finally, I don't remember how old I was, probably like 12, 13. I got my hair like cut really short. And I mean, it would be so hard that like if you put your hand on it. Do you remember those things that like had the needles and you would put your hand in it?
Yes.
It was like one of those. Like it was so pokey. Yeah. Porcupine.
Stop.
Yeah.
Did you, when you went and got your hair cut when you were like a child.
Supercuts.
So me too.
I would get my hair cut at Supercuts.
There was one and it was called Kids Cuts that my mom made me go to, and it had a full playground in it. And I was like,
that's fierce.
Why? But I was thinking, I was like, there's hair everywhere. There's going to be a ball pit of hair.
Yeah, that's gross.
And like slobber and slime.
That's gross.
So was there ever a picture that you brought to somebody that you wanted your hair to look like?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I've never really been that girl. I mean, even now that I have my long hair, like I just told my hair guy, David, I want a balayage or I want this color. I'm not really someone to, that's more like when I do clothing. Like when I work with clothing and designers, I definitely will have a picture of inspiration. But I think with hair, I usually like to trust the artist. Yeah. I also remember when I finally graduated from Supercuts to Tony and Guy.
Oh, wait, I was saying that I thought you were saying you were a haircut person who graduated.
No. My haircut person did not go to either of those schools. But I remember like Tony and Guy was like really popular. And I think like what I learned was they taught them to cut your hair badly so that you would have to come back more often. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard. But I remember like being like, I don't go to Supercuts anymore. I'm a Tony and Guy girl. It was a thing. It was a thing. Mall haircuts.
I would go in with the NSYNC CD, the very first one, and I was like, I want to be JC Chazé.
Okay.
That
Didn't
was
he have spiky hair?
Yeah, it was kind of like a little like spike. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I wanted.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for sending us an email.
I love you guys sending us voicemails. Love you guys sending us emails. Make sure to ask questions too, because the next time, if you leave a voicemail, you ask a question, I'm not afraid to pick up my phone and call. So you never know.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. That was so kind of you to leave us all that love and positive energy. And please know we are sending it right back to you.
Right back to you. Well, we're going to get right back to you after this little break. And I think we may be going into a little different space-time continuum.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll see you right after this break.
We are back. It's Queening Out. Now, this week we have a commencement speech challenge, kind of like a comedy challenge, I'm guessing. So because it's the comedy challenge-esque, and we have the queen of comedy here.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm the queen of comedy?
Yeah.
That's a stretch. That's a four-way stretch.
Well,
four-way stretch fabric.
Let's hit the time warp.
Oh, here we go.
It's episode 8 of season 6. You are in the comedy stand-up challenge. It led to so many iconic moments. That was a full-blown moment. So I would love for you to do a dramatic reading.
I cannot even believe this. I'm looking at the script now. You're kidding me.
Please do a dramatic reading.
Oh my God. We really should have played Yuha's clip of her doing this.
We should have. In front of
that was really
DragCon.
iconic. Did you see it?
Yes. It was
she was
so
like
good.
supposed to do a panel and then they canceled the panel and never told her. So she just stood there and gave the whole speech. You got to go check it out. I think it's on her Instagram. It's ridiculous. But okay, so I'm supposed to do a dramatic reading, meaning like taking this serious as if I was doing it at graduation. Did you know I actually spoke at my college graduation?
Did you really?
During Corona 2021, I was so honored that they had me come in full drag. Got to deliver a speech to the class of 2021 at Cal Arts, where I graduated college.
That's awesome.
It was such a big moment for me.
That's huge.
It went definitely not like what you're about to hear, but here we go. Hey, 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 hey. Put your lighters up. Ganja is in the house. Ow. As you can tell from my accent, I am from Dallas, Texas. And it was not very easy growing up looking like this. Whether I was playing in my grandma's clothes or putting on a show for my well-organized, alphabetically ordered Beanie Babies, I was gay. Okay. But it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles that I discovered marijuana. And I mean, I like to smoke. Y'all, I'm flying just as high as your receding hairline. Okay. Marijuana really does help me calm down. So y'all, I went to Valencia where they filmed the TV show Weeds. Now y'all, it's very dry. It's almost kind of like your vagina. Can I get an amen? Now y'all, I'm a tree hugger because if it ain't green, I am not interested. Okay. There it was. Yes. I tried to be dramatic.
Wait, okay. So was that your full speech or was there more?
No, that's definitely edited, which is why I have to like read it because, no, not that I would remember the full speech anyway, but no, it definitely was edited. It was much longer. And yeah, look, I'm just really grateful that at the end of the day, as bomb as it was, like, and bad bomb, it eventually became good bomb. Yeah. And I love that people celebrate it now and laugh. And I try to laugh with them because I do think a lot of it was really funny, you know? It just didn't happen to land in that moment.
Was it as bad as the edit made it out to seem, or did you get laughs and did you have...
Well, I still think the edit was really funny. So like when you say that, do you mean like the audience not laughing?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, no, that still happened. The audience didn't laugh, but I still think it's funny. I'm sorry, dry as your vagina is iconic.
It was hilarious. I also think the funny thing is that people took the video and then just inserted laughs after everything.
I love that because it shows you the power of editing.
Yes. Yeah. How long does it take you, or did it take you to write that? Did they give you like a prompt? Like, how did you even decide that?
Right. So we were definitely given a prompt. That's where I did my famous underneath the table with the no smoking sign. And I just saw a recent like meme where I'm talking to myself and I'm like, and I need a transition. And they were like, and she did. And I was like, oh, that's... But yeah, so I probably worked in the workroom for like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
And then we had Bruce Valange work with us on the sketch, and he loved me. He thought I was so funny, and I left feeling so confident.
Wow.
But I went into the workroom and I actually lied to all of them and was like, I did really bad. Like, I'm so nervous. And I think ultimately that's why I set myself up, is because like I was trying to play games, and girl, like you just can't play games. Like they will end up biting you in the ass. And well, it did. So also Pauly was on the show too. And I remember he worked with us off camera. And yeah, everyone's like built me up as for it to be this big funny moment. And then it was just crickets.
Oh my gosh. And then you're on the main stage.
Yes.
It's after the challenge.
Yes.
And you had your breakdown moment.
I did. I felt very attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Although I felt very attacked before or after the runway?
It was
while the judges were deliberating.
Correct.
Right. So it was before I had to lip sync. And yeah, that was such a traumatic moment for me. In fact, like I won't watch that.
Really?
Yeah, I won't watch it. I mean, I've made fun of the I feel very attacked. I've made merch with it now because I'm always of the belief if you can't beat them, join them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a really hard moment. And I really do still feel to this day that the girls came for me. I mean, you know, I know Adore was famous for saying like, well, that's not how I wanted to do it. And I truly believe that at the bottom of my heart. But I just think because so many of them ganged up on me at once, you know, it's one of the very few times I've only had a full on like panic attack. It was very intense, you know, and I'm just glad that I survived it and that I have been able to laugh at it because at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And, you know, I've learned to just, like I said, go with it. Go with it, you know? Everybody has a breakdown moment. Mine just happened to be on camera for national TV.
Yeah, and my breakdown moment was Saturday on Pride.
Yeah. So you see, one and the same.
Well, I would love to know in that moment, and I'm sorry I'm bringing it up, but I do have a question. Yeah. I would love to know, you said that you were 100% J. Do you feel the same way looking back at that? I
really do. I really do. I've always claimed this, and I will to the day I die because, you know, I was 23 years old. Mm-hmm. I grew up in musical theater camp. Being over the top at summer camp was what I did best. Yeah. I put on drag shows for people at lunch. I was known as what we call a ham. Always turning it up, always talking, always moving, always grooving. And, you know, I went into that TV show with the advice from Melissa Edwards, which was keep the cameras on you at all time. Do whatever you have to do to make sure you're stealing the scene. And so that's exactly what I did. Now, if I were to go back to the competition, which I won't, but if I was, would I do it differently? I do believe I would. Because I'm a different person now. Yeah. I've grown, I've matured, I've come into my truth. And so I don't think it would be the same, but I do think it would be similar because I am still similar. I am still over the top. I am still a ham. I still do turn up for the camera. So I just think it would maybe be a little bit more toned down. Yeah. Because I've learned I don't have to do so many antics to get people's attention. You know, there's a line that, why is her name leaving me? There's a line that Jocelyn Fox said to me, and she's like, you demand attention instead of command attention. And that's something that's really stuck with me that I really think about all the time. Yeah, it's something I think I try to do now more. I just try to command the room as opposed to like demand people look at me by being crazy and kooky and zany, you know?
That's really smart advice.
It is, yeah.
Wow, Jocelyn, I'm taking that to heart now.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And before we move on, I do want to know, when you left the room, you said, can somebody find my nail or get my nail? Did you get your nail?
Fell off. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that question. I would assume so. And if not, I had extras because I, again, think I started this just saying I came with a full case of nails and I had nails for every single look, which I know now is standard. But back then, I really don't think that was a thing. And so I had extra nails made. So if I didn't get that exact nail, I definitely had an extra to glue on because I was not going to go out there with one nail off.
Oh, and then you were the first queen to
chasse away. You have to.
See?
Had to represent for the dance community.
But that is such an iconic episode. Looking back at it, it was so full of so many moments for you. Whether they were negative or positive, you had those moments and it made you who you are today. Like at the end of the day, like it helped shape you for the fandom. And then you got to redeem yourself, I guess you would say, when you came back on All-Star 6. Redeem. When you came back for All Stars 6, and how did you actually jump down?
So I, of course, pitched this to the team and said that I wanted to come from the ceiling because I was referencing an incredible, iconic YouTube video by Tandy Iman Dupree. And I wanted to do exactly what she did, which is she fell from the ceiling. But due to liability reasons, they're like, we're not going to do that. So they built a platform for me. And it actually was on the left side. And because I'm a left splitter, I had to have them drill up the platform and move it to the other side, which I felt very diva about. But they did it so graciously. And yeah, that's how I did it. I jumped off the platform into my split.
There you go.
Yeah. Still recovering from that one.
Still in pain.
Yes. Still on CBD topicals.
At least you're not like the UK girls that always jump on their knees.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know why.
The knee flop.
Yeah, the knee flop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting move.
Well, before we get into this challenge, we're going to exit this time warp. So Rue tells the girls that whoever the top two are that win are going to be able to give a badge to somebody.
That's right. 2 stars, mama.
2 stars. How would you go about this?
Well, I think I would give 1 star to myself, obviously, and then the other one to my other personality. You know, I would just try to keep it in the family. No, I would give the star probably to someone who didn't have one. Because I feel like giving it to someone who has one is going to make it harder to beat them. And I'd rather like even out the playing field. Ooh. And I like to make everyone feel included. So I think that's what I would have done.
I thought about it and I didn't know if it was possible because I didn't hear any type of rule behind it. But I would have, if it was allowed, talk to the other top 2 person and be like, can we just switch stars?
Now see, that's smart.
So then you both get 2.
You're smart. That's how you play the game, okay?
You got to.
Don't go in there and lie and tell people you did bad when you did good, because that will set you up for failure. But swapping stars.
Swapping.
I'm all down for that.
I am too. So the queens have to do their commencement speech. They have to go out there and give speeches. And did you have any favorites, any standouts?
You know, I really enjoyed the Vivienne. I thought it was so funny. I loved her drunk character, the way her lipstick and eye was smeared. And I just thought she really executed it with humor. And I think that's what, for some of these other girls, they were lacking. They went a little bit too much on the inspirational side as opposed to the comedy side.
I think that that's what was missing from the first few that went out, like Monet and Shea and stuff. Like, they were good at inspiration, but I just wanted some like punch and comedy. Like, I didn't actually want to go to a commencement. You know, like my graduation, I didn't even want to go to that because like they talked too long.
I had the most amazing graduation. I went to an art school. So it was just wild. Like, I literally was in full drag, not female drag. It was boy impersonating drag because my parents at that time were not ready for me to be in a dress, which I think all of us looking back now, they're like, probably should have let her wear a dress, but it's all good. And we got to pick 10 seconds of any song that we wanted. So I picked Missy Elliott's Funky Fresh Dressed. And it was just amazing. I was totally, you know, liabated and lit, and I remember there was like a giant beach ball that they were like passing around in the audience. Like, it was crazy. CalArts is a nuts school.
I am so jealous of your experience.
I think that's how all graduations should be, you know?
They really should.
Because this whole serious thing, you're right, Borella.
Like, no matter how much you look at it, somebody who is 23, 24, 22, whatever, and you're graduating, nobody wants to sit through hours of people speaking boringly.
Yes, agreed.
Like, give me a media presentation. Bring out Christina Aguilera. Bring out a performance.
Okay, now you're talking multi budgets, but I feel you.
They do bring out commencement speakers, right?
They do. I don't know if Christina's ever spoken at a graduation, girl, but I like where you're going with this.
Maybe a song and dance.
Okay,
you know?
I like where
maybe
you're
not
going
by
with
Christina.
This.
Maybe we go with somebody a little lower.
Okay,
you know.
Christina Milian.
From AM to PM. That's what she's going to be performing. Did you have any people that you just didn't think were great?
No, I think they all did an okay job. I thought Trinity was really funny. I thought Raja did a really great job. I loved the way Evie looked. I thought her outfit was fabulous. Jinx, for me personally, while I thought she did great, she wasn't necessarily a standout to me. I feel like we've seen her do better in other challenges. Yeah, I mean, I think overall this was a really hard challenge, to be inspirational, but to be funny, to keep it in the theme of graduation. That's kind of a lot to maneuver. So I think overall, like I said, the girls did really well. I just definitely thought some were better at inserting the humor.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree fully. I think that exactly like you said, Jinx wasn't at her funniest, but I did think that there were a lot of punchy moments. The Vivian, the same thing, punchy moments, and Raja, punchy moments.
Yeah.
And I think that they most likely were probably the top 3 in my head.
Yeah.
And
I think Trinity would be right after
Oh, yes,
them.
yes,
She was
yes.
pretty
She was
funny.
in there too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's take a break and then we can get into these looks.
Okay. And we're back.
Oh my gosh, are we back?
We are so back again with a full visual.
A full visual. We're going to have little images that are going to be popping up either here with the looks as they come up.
We love an editor.
We love an editor. Thank you, Carson.
I mean, look, I always have said a lot of girls will complain about the editing on RuPaul's Drag Race and say, well, it's like I was edited that way. And that's another thing I've always claimed true to is, I said what I said. I meant what I did. And I think the editors did an amazing job of making me infamous. So, shout out to all the editors out there. Your job is not easy. They watch hours of footage and cut out all of our little mistakes and, of course, do all the inserts. So it's a tough job. We appreciate you, Carson.
Carson, yes. Was there anything on your original season that you really wish would have made it to air that didn't happen?
Good question. Gosh, Joseph, you're coming with all these good questions I've never been asked. I love that. I always get asked the same thing. So when I always hear a new one, I'm like, let's see, is there anything? Well, I thought it was really funny. And I don't think they included a lot of that. I just came off as annoying all the time. But there was lots of times where I had people laughing,
Yeah.
But I think I came off more as unintentionally funny as actually funny. And maybe that's really how it went down. And in my head, I just was funny. So I don't know. I wish maybe they had included a little less crying and a little bit more humor.
Yeah.
But nothing is specific that I can remember. All my looks made it in, all my silly moments, where I put my leg up with that crazy thing on my head with Bianca. I feel like all my big moments made it. I actually have a journal. I have no idea where it is, where I would journal every day. So if I were able to find that, that would probably tell us what
Laganja. That's your first book.
No, I'm not getting that. That is PTSD waiting to happen.
Laganja, you could get a great book deal.
No. I want to write a book about my transition. I'm not trying to go back again. I survived it once.
So what's the runway theme we have here today?
So the runway theme is veil. Ooh. Something over the eyes, something in the back of the head, giving drama with veil.
So the only real veils that I necessarily know of is just because of a wedding dress.
Yes.
So does a veil have to be fully over a face? How is a veil done? Do you know?
They make half veils, that cover just one eye, on a fascinator. I mean, I think there's a lot of different types of veils, and we saw that on the runway, interpreted by the girls.
First up, we had Monet Exchange giving you, wasn't she Maya Angelou in Snatch Game one year?
I think
and
so,
it was
yeah.
Free Bird or whatever it was.
Oh.
The cage bird sings or something. That's what I thought about.
I was going to say Laganja Estranja.
Yeah.
The bird cage. I'm sorry, but I love this look. This is major from head to toe. I mean, it's just such a creative way of interpreting veil. I actually have done a photo shoot where I had a bird cage on my head. So, of course, I'm going to naturally love this. But I think the outfit, alone without the veil, stands on its own. This feather couture piece with the built-in hips, which I love, to give her the shape. And, of course, trans colors. So it's a wear it, 100%.
100%. I agree with that, too. It is a total wear it. I would love anything to look like that with those feathers. Just the way that that's done, it's not like it was ostrich feathers that were all kind of out there. Everything was so fitted. Love it.
Yeah, these are individually, probably, I don't know, but I imagine to be individually glued to create this incredible transition of blue into white into pink. It's really special. And this is the second time she's done trans colors. So
yeah, I
don't know if she's sending a message or what's going on, but I'm feeling it and I'm loving it.
I love it. Wear it.
You wear it well.
Next up, we have Shea Coulee in can I ask why did they say it was accordion? Is it just because it bunched?
That's what it is.
Oh, that's an accordion dress?
Accordion is, see all those little pleats? Like an accordion. You know how it has the pleats? Exactly.
But that's what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's an accordion pleat.
I thought they were just saying it looks like an accordion.
Oh, no. It's a real term. It's a real term.
So she is giving a very, in my mind, beekeeper-esque.
Oh, I see that.
Because the veil is long. And then she has
the
a little
short to long, like the hat. Yeah.
And then she has like a little hat on top, like a beekeeper hat. That's what I was getting.
Okay.
I don't really understand the cuffs.
Right. You know, I had mentioned to you when I was watching this, I was like, okay, no, we've already worn this cuffs. And I feel like that's like a RuPaul's Drag Race. No. Like once you wear it for one challenge, which I believe it was when she did the African Goddess, that's when she first wore them. And I forget the designer, but I saw that he had like tagged the picture and been like, oh, thanks for wearing my cuffs. So the cuffs were really in my mind. So when I saw them come out again, I was like, I don't know. But I do think they worked with the look. And I mean, come on, we reuse drag all the time. So why not do that on the show? That's the realness. For me, this isn't my favorite. I'll be honest. I think it's very fashion forward. I totally see where she's going with this. I love the use of color. I love the use of the accordion pleat, but it is a tear-it for me. It's just not working for me. I think she's too covered. There's too many layers, and it's really hard for me to attach to this outfit.
I agree with you. Also, have you ever seen Merle Ginsburg walk down the street of WeHo? Have you ever seen it?
No. But this is the old RuPaul's Drag Race show. Yeah, right?
Like
up till season 3? Why did she get kicked out? Do you know that, T?
Yeah. Well, she didn't. So basically what happened is that she got offered a fashion job overseas. And RuPaul's Drag Race at the time, after season 2, they didn't know they were going to come back or not. Okay. And so they basically told her, hey, we'll hit you up if we happen to come back, but like, don't cancel whatever you're doing. Oh. So she was over, and I don't know necessarily where, but she was somewhere overseas. They called her and they basically like, hey, can you come over? And she was like, I can't, I already committed to this. And so then they brought in Michelle. So it wasn't drama then? Yeah, no drama.
Okay, well, we love that.
Yeah, but this is exactly something that she would wear.
Is it?
She always has like this big hat, very fashion forward in what she's wearing. And it's Merle Ginsburg to me.
I love it. Like we said, fashion forward, but not for us.
Not for us, tear it. Okay, who do we have next? It's your favorite?
Up next, I mean, she is bringing it to the runway every time. We have Trinity the Tuck Taylor in a gorgeous, not sapphire, right? Yeah, sapphire red.
Yeah.
She's in sapphire red. I mean, this queen is bringing out for me every single runway. It is drag, yet again, more is more is more. She's definitely in that vein and that vibe, but I love it. I think the veil is so beautiful in the front with this one little piece coming over, allowing her eye to poke out. And then, of course, the gorgeous veil in the back with all these flowers. I mean, I just think she looks incredible. My one critique, if I had to critique, was she's already given us a full red look.
Yes.
So I was like, a little similar, not really, because that one was like all cutouts and sexy. But I do believe she had on an eye mask with that first red look.
She did.
So I'm like, it's a little similar. I would have loved to have seen this in a yellow. I think that could have been beautiful in a yellow. Ooh. But it's a wear it for me.
It's a total wear it. And also her makeup was on point.
Soft, like supple, woman.
Every single time she brings it. And I would love, do you know if she comes up with designs or if she just talks to designers?
Well, I don't know, but judging from the design challenge, I would have imagined that she has a heavy hand in designing. It seems like that's definitely a part of her craft.
Yeah, and she knows it so well. She knows her body. She knows everything.
She does. I mean, the skirt's the perfect length. The shoulders are balancing out the hip pieces. She's got the little red clutch. I mean, the gorgeous earrings. She's giving us drag.
Drag. What do you think of Raja?
I loved Raja's look. I think this is gorgeous from the front. Now, when she turned around and the back piece was kind of see-through and it looked like, when you write on a piece of paper with Sharpie and then you look on the back and it's bled through. It was kind of giving me that. So I kind of wish the back had been thought of. But other than that, this is amazing. This is so fashion forward. I love this kind of veil. It's gorgeous. And the blue gloves with the blue shoes, we're getting that match on match, which I really like. So it's a wear it for me.
You wear it well.
Oh, here it comes. Okay. I absolutely love the dress. I love the veil. I do not like the back piece. I understand where she was going. She wanted to look very like editorial, like I'm on the front cover of, magazine. But to me, I think it just takes away from the expensiveness of the look and it makes it look a little cheap to me. So I would wear it except for the magazine-esque cover.
Okay. I see what you're saying because the veil is so rich and so is the look, especially with the side exposed with the beading. But I don't know. I still like it. I think it's drama. I think it's drag. I hear what you're saying.
I think I also don't like when people wear big things that have writing on them. I don't know what it is. Because anytime
it's such a specific thing.
Well, I think there was, I don't know if it was Jimbo or somebody on UK versus the World, and they had a big cape thing and there was writing on it. And I just think that when you go for writing on an outfit, if it is not done fully 100%, it cheapens it to me.
Okay. I feel you. No graphic tees for you.
No graphic tees for me.
Okay.
That's a lie.
Well, up next we have the essence of Jada Hall. Now, another one who's been serving us looks week after week.
Week after week.
For me, this one missed. I just think it's too covered up. Mm-hmm. I love the height.
Yes.
I love the drama of it all, the black fan, but it's all one fabric. And I think she's kind of swallowed in it. We're not really able to see any of her. So I almost feel like she's too veiled.
Yes, I agree with that. There's a part of me that wishes that the girls that had their face fully done would have done some type of reveal and then they could easily put it back on because I think that the illusion is the veil, but I also want to see her pretty face.
Right. And I think had she maybe uncovered somehow, we could have seen the body and the bodice of the dress. And maybe that would have given us a little bit more. But because she remained covered, it was just, again, it was hard for me to attach to the outfit.
I agree. I would totally wear the headpiece because I just think that it's so tall and it would just be so awesome. But I do not dress. No. It's a tear.
It's a tear it. It's a tear it.
This was probably my favorite look I've ever seen Evie wear. I don't know. She took what her whole drag aesthetic is, and she actually applied it in a fashion-forward way.
Yep.
Because I think that a lot of times Evie takes the challenge and she'll make it into Evie, but it doesn't necessarily abide by the challenge 100%. But this, all there. Makeup was flawless. Contacts, all of that. Was it kind of like I don't know, how would you even describe this? Like a...
Sequin.
Sequin
beaded.
Beaded.
I know the word for this. Handkerchief. That's what you call this cut down here at the bottom. Handkerchief dress.
Yeah. And it looked very kind of quilted too.
I love
very
this.
Different patterns.
I love this.
Beautiful.
I don't know if it's my favorite because I really loved the crown look and the whole bug look. But maybe this is my favorite actually. I love this because it kind of reminds me of Aida, the musical.
Yes.
I was kind of getting some Aida references. Also Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat references. And I loved that we got a reveal of the veil. Yep. And she had another veil on, which was that turquoise, beaded ness. I don't know what you call that, turquoise beaded headpiece, I guess is what you'd call it. And I just love that. I love that she had the full beaded fringe and revealed to another type of veil. I thought that was really smart of her. And again, that was just providing us the drama that we were looking for.
And then on top of that, when you use colors like that turquoise blue, and it meshes so well with everything else, I could totally see you wearing this right now.
I honestly would absolutely wear this in real life. And, it's interesting because Evie and I talked a lot, obviously on tour. And, she told me about how much work she really put into these looks and that she wanted to be able to stay true to her brand, but, meet the Drag Race standard. And I'm very proud of her. I feel like she really showed us who she is in this look.
100. Wear it.
Wear it.
Next, we have Miss Jinx Monsoon with it's not lavender.
Lilac.
Lilac.
It's also lavender, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
What kind of dress would you call this?
This is a mermaid fishtail gown.
Okay.
Let's see how the bottom is kind of swishing out. And it's long sleeve, and it's giving us floral, flower, butterfly realness.
I thought that the butterflies carrying the back of the veil goes so much with what Jinx is. She's very fairy princess, in also that time period. And it just reminded me very Snow White-esque of the animals all coming to you or whatever. I thought it was exactly what I would expect for Jinx. I will say, though, that she showed her body quite a bit. Jinx, a lot of times, like in the outfits that she wears, it isn't like necessarily like hips, body, all of that. And this is what that was giving me. I thought it looked very good on her.
Yeah, it definitely looks great on her. This is a classic Jinx move. I think she wore butterflies for her crowning. I can't remember,
yes,
but she did,
she
right? So I loved that she was kind of, referencing herself previous season. For me, I wouldn't wear this, so it is a tear it, but I don't think she looks bad. I think she looks great. Again, I wish she would have revealed the veil. But, I think for Jinx, this is a good look. I know I feel like I say that every week, which is like, well, why does she get the special write-off? But she's not known for being a fashion queen. Yeah. She's going to give you period. She's going to give you costume. And she did a great job of it. But it's if I'd wear it, that's a no.
I think I would totally wear the veil. I don't know. Like, I just think that it's different.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, well, you know what? Yeah, why not? So I'd wear the veil and I would tear the dress.
Okay, fair enough.
And last we have the Vivienne giving us bondage realness.
Whips and chains excite me.
Whips and chains excite me.
Yeah. I don't love the purple rope here. The purple rope really took me off. I feel like it should have been blue or it should have been white so that we could tell it was rope. And I felt like the veil was a little like asphyxiation vibes, which I guess goes with the BDSM, but I didn't love that aspect. Now the dress, I'm obsessed with, and the fact that it's like a straight jacket and she's got her arms behind her and it's like this blue latex on top of a blue sequin. So good. So I honestly would wear it. I really would, because I think I could just like fix the parts that kind of bug me.
Yeah.
Again, I'm so impressed with the fashion she's been bringing. I really was not expecting that. So it's a wear it for me.
I think that the dress is a total wear it. Like you said, it gives off very asphyxiation. And that, I don't know, that's like a little creepy in some aspect to me, I think. But she fucking killed it, and it looks great, and she looks great in it. And I love the ball gag, and I think it's a totally different way to go with this. So
yeah, and unlike Jada's, where the veil was almost not as see-through, we really could see through this one, so we could see the detail of the ball gag, which I did enjoy. And again, I feel like if you're gonna go for BDSM and asphyxiation, then really take it there. So like, I wish the rope, like I said, was a white contrasting color, wrap around the neck, like, and then maybe tying her hands back into like some, like just take it there.
Yeah.
I just felt like the one little tiny purple rope, it was just, it blended in,
Yeah, and it didn't really... See, that was also like a part of me that really wondered like what the dress would have looked like if the actual, what do you call it? The tie, not the ties, but the...
I don't know what you call that. Like...
Yeah, if those were a different color, I really wanted to know what that would look like, because since
I like the tone on tone.
I did, but you also like couldn't see it at times. Like I didn't realize that it was all the way down the dress, and then I was like, oh.
Maybe if those were purple and we had more purple rope, that could have worked.
Hey,
that could have worked.
Yeah.
What do you... Belts. They're belts. That's the word.
Well... You're learning it from us.
Belts.
Well, let's take a break and we will come back and chat who won, who lost, and everything in between.
And we're back again. Back again. Giving you the visual you've always wanted.
Needed and called for. There actually have been a lot of comments asking for
really?
Visuals. Yes.
Well, I hope you're enjoying this. And if you love it, leave us some comments down below. And if you're still listening, go on over to Joseph's YouTube and check it out.
Check it out. And you know what? We'll also put it on Laganja's. So then we'll have a duo.
Yes, we will. You can catch it on either channel.
And we'll promote it everywhere.
Yes.
We're going to win some queerties. We're going to win awards
now.
That's
what we're trying to do?
We're going to try to win some podcast awards.
Okay, I would love that.
I think we need to
I would really love that.
Yeah,
Let's manifest that.
Yeah, we need to manifest that. And we know that the same podcast win year after year. We always get like a race chaser or sibling rivalry or Katya.
Which they're great. No tea to them. But they do win every year.
And there's time for some new kids on the block.
I think so.
So our top two end up being Jinx, Monsoon, and Raja. They get to choose their people who they're going to give the stars to next week.
Okay.
So they get a little.
They had to keep us waiting.
They have to keep us waiting.
Of course.
I wonder if they're going to like send them to talk to everybody. You know how they do those things?
Yeah.
Like, why do you deserve the star?
I see that for them.
And Jinx ended up winning the lip sync, $10,000, and she blocked the Vivienne.
Well, it's all fair.
It's all
and RuPaul's Drag Race, you know, Viv came for her, so she said, "Well, watch this Miss Thing."
I kept thinking to myself, I was like, why would you tell somebody that you would have blocked them?
Right.
What type of strategy is that?
Not a good one. Not a good one. Yeah, no.
You may think that like by saying it out loud, you're like getting everybody else to gang up on the person.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're putting the biggest target on your back.
Agreed. Agreed. But I do want to say Raja looked especially beautiful in that lip sync. I loved the jumpsuit. She looked like $1,000,000.
I'm so glad she finally got her star.
Yes.
I'm like, bring some more stars for you, Raja.
Yes.
You so deserve it. And it's just so hard. Like, I think just as we talked about last week, when you have so many good girls and it's like, you can have a top 2 and then Raja will be right there at the 3, or she may be the 2, but the judges don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's very, very difficult.
No, I really think she deserved it, and I'm glad she got her time to shine.
Same.
Totally.
So we have Jinx with 2 stars. She's in the lead.
Wow, okay.
And everybody else has 1 star except for Evie Oddly.
She's the only one without a star?
Only one without a star.
Wow, you're keeping real tally over here.
Yeah, to do it at the end of each week. Jada had her Tahine moment again, this time with Jinx.
Loved it. I did it with her, actually, you know, while watching. I was like, let me just get my own out, do it with the girls.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to bring some here, and we were going to start the podcast with it.
We should have.
And literally,
next podcast,
we're going to do it. We're going to take the teen shot. And then you guys should do it at home, too. You know what? Do it with us. Tell us what your experience is.
You can get it on Amazon if it's not available if you're in the UK, just saying.
Yeah. You might need it in the UK for your food, according to Laganja.
You do.
Now it's time for what you missed in Untucked.
My favorite, because I never watch Untucked.
Yeah, there we go.
So I always have to get this section from you.
Since there was commencement speeches, of course, they talked about their high school experiences. Some were good and some were bad.
Naturally.
Were
there any tears?
Not really.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
so they all had it pretty good.
It was kind of like very just middle lane. Some were a little bad.
Yeah, come on. Don't you miss the Untucks, like where I was there crying every episode?
Saying.
I'm just saying, like, if we're going to untuck, like, let's go there.
Let's go there.
Let's add some drama.
The girls are scared now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't watch it.
I also wish that they wouldn't film it in the workroom.
I know. It totally takes it away. I actually had to talk about that with one of the girls on the tour. We were saying, like, when you used to move into another space that was closed and small and intimate, it really kind of, you know, it festered that into that dramatic tension, you know, whereas now they're in their same space. They're more spread out. It doesn't have that same magical vibe as the Interior Illusions Lounge. Yeah.
I mean, I would die if they brought the Interior Illusions Lounge back.
I think they should.
Gold room, silver room.
Yes.
Let's do it. Because it makes so much sense. Like you said, they're in a smaller confined place. You're more likely to get into fights. And I also wish that they would use the screen again. Like they would use the screen more.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like they get so comfortable in the workroom. So it's hard to like, and it's just like, oh, well, we're just in the workroom again. You know? Yeah. It's not the same kind of, the stakes aren't risen as high.
Exactly. So they talked about their high school experiences. Yep. What was your high school experience like?
Well, my freshman year, I went to a public high school where my mother was actually the counselor. So that was very, you know, unique in a way. Of course, I actually kind of loved it because I was able to like go into my mommy's office and cry after school, and I did that plenty. But then I went to arts high school for my sophomore, junior, and senior year, and it was the most amazing experience ever. I loved high school. I got my first boyfriend. I, got to choreograph for the Entertainers, which was like the musical theater group. I was in a dance company, Rep 2. I met my mentor, who's now my dear friend and kind of like my second mother, Dr. Linda James. And yeah, I definitely have a lot of Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts. Yeah, BTW HSPVA, the longest name. It's almost like LGBTQAI+.
Yes.
But yeah, I loved it. I feel so grateful that I got to go to public school first and kind of have a rough experience with normal kids, so that when I went to art school, I just appreciated it so much more to be surrounded by weirdos.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? What was your high school experience like?
So jealous. Well, I went to private school all the way up until the 8th grade. And my graduating class in the 8th grade had 14 people in it. And these were the same 14 people I had known since I was in kindergarten.
Oh my God.
So that school ended at 8th grade. So then I had to go to a public school. And my freshman class had 2,000 people in it. So
quite the difference.
Oh my gosh. It was awful. I also was obese. I was overweight. I had glasses. I had my curly hair. Yeah, I was made fun of like crazy. A very, very bad experience. But I will tell you one thing that really struck a chord. Somebody was really, really, really mean to me. And about a year ago, I got a random message on Facebook. And it was, I don't know if you will ever see this, but looking back on things, I would like to apologize for how I treated you.
That's awesome.
And I, like, looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's been 10 plus years. And you are sending me a message, so it obviously means something. And it's like, yeah, you did give me hell, but thank you for realizing.
Acknowledging, yeah. I actually got a similar message from someone who made fun of me. I think they made more fun of me in middle school than they did high school, but I did get a message from them. And again, it was the same thing where it was just like, wow, that's really cool of you to admit. And I appreciate that you see. And, you know, again, at the end of the day, we all mess up. And the only thing we really can do is apologize and do better. And I think it's really amazing when people can admit that, like, yeah, I messed up, shouldn't have been mean to you, I'm sorry, I was a high school asshole, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And when you get that, like, I was like, oh, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
And now you're just serving revenge body for the gods.
Revenge body for the gods. Yes. And also, I just want to say I had a awful time with a theater teacher named Miss Lorraine Cotton.
Get her, Jade.
She was, she prevented a lot of good things happening. She didn't tell me about scholarships. She just hated my guts, and I have no idea why. She locked me out of competitions. We had like drama competitions, and you had like your teleprompter competitions and all this stuff because I did like news anchoring, and she cut me out of all of it. She wouldn't tell me. The best part, senior year, I applied for president of the Thespian Society.
Naturally.
So we were all in the lovely high school drama room, and she's pulling out the votes, and it's between me and this girl named Holly Taylor. And she's like, Holly, Joseph. And then she went, and our new thespian president is Joseph Shepard.
Oh my gosh. How rude.
Right?
Yes. How rude. Well, like I said, you're showing them all that you went on to greatness.
Yes,
so props to you, Joseph.
Props to you.
Yes, and props to you, Mama.
Props to you, Mama. Also in What You Missed in Untucked, Evie shares that she switches her pussycat wigs from the front to the back to give people a different hairstyle. And they think it's a different hair. Have you ever done that?
No. I've never worn my wigs backwards. That is wild.
Right?
That's wild.
I was like, okay.
Leave it to Evie.
Yeah. And the Vivian shares that she used to be a rugby player for 8 years.
Now that I can see.
I
That's
can see that
very English. Too. It's very the vibe over there.
I really hope she comes out with some really like deconstructed rugby outfit, like in a dress form. That would be beautiful.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
I like that idea.
Well, that's what you missed on Untucked.
All right.
And as we are closing this out, Miss Nancy Pelosi came up onto the stage and she was telling everybody to vote in the midterms. You took the time 2 weeks ago to talk about, the political stuff with gun reform and all of that. Yeah. And I really wanted to take this time to just tell everybody that if you are in America, if you are paying attention, just please pay attention to the January 6th stuff. At the end of the day, no matter what you believe, if you are a full Trump supporter, just please take the time to look at the facts. Actually take time. Like, don't be just going to those random websites or Facebook posts like my mom might do. Like, actually do the research and watch. Because I think at the end of the day, it is very scary what came close, and just realizing and hearing that it wasn't just like a protest that went into the Capitol. There was months of things that were leading up to it that Trump knew about and so many more people knew about. So just please do research. At the end of the day, before you form an opinion, do research and, actually vote. Yes. Seriously vote. And look when you vote, the people that are in charge of your school districts, your superintendents, those are the people that are making the decision for the children coming up. So It may not seem like a big deal, but it's a big deal.
It is. I agree. And I'm so fortunate that my mother actually sent me an email about it. I know your mother, again, Trump, so a different vibe, but I'm so grateful that my mother was like, here, I know you've been busy. You need to see and need to read about this. So shout out to my mom for continually keeping me engaged in the political system. I'm very, very, very grateful for her and for my best friend, Kristen, who also has done a very similar thing with me. I actually made a video F Donald Trump on my YouTube when he was up for election. So yeah, it's definitely something that I really try to use my platform for and to educate people on. So again, thank you for bringing that up.
Of course. I am completely like, I think that politics is a thing that I'm so obsessed with that like, that's my one little niche that I'm like looking up all the time. Yeah. So, you know, I think that we are all individuals. We're all humans. We all bleed the same. And we just need to realize that nobody should have more power than anybody else or force anything on anybody else. We're all living. Let's live.
Well said, Joseph.
Well said. Well, that was Queening Out. Thank you all so much for listening to today's episode with me and Laganja Estranja. We have new shows every Tuesday.
That's right. So make sure you subscribe to our show and you can rate and review us on your podcast apps. Like this review we got from Keek this week. Ooh. From Keek Streams. Love it. Love these two and their opinions. This podcast gives me life while waiting for the next episode. Keep up the great work. Hugs. So sweet. Thanks, Keek.
And you said somebody came up to you at an event.
I did. Today at my event, I had a lovely individual tell me that they loved listening to our podcast and kind of echoed what a lot of people have been saying about that, yes, we give our opinions, but we try to keep it drama-free and always try to, you know, recognize the hard work that goes into each and every episode. So it was really, really rewarding to hear it in person, and it's also rewarding to hear it on the podcast reviews.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening. Make sure to give us those 5-star reviews. You know, we'll gladly read them out to you all.
You see?
Yeah. Send the emails.
Shout out to Joseph for being the script supervisor.
Tip, tapping away. So also be sure to send us an email, laganjos@gmail.com. We might read it on the air next week.
That's right. And if you have any burning questions, you can leave us a message at 323-607-5116, and we may play it on air.
Yeah, we may. And you can always follow us. You should. Laganja Estranja on all things social, and I'm at Joseph A. Shepard on all things social.
That's right. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week for another episode of
Queening Out.
Bye, guys.